Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do.
You,
I
you,
got one that I'm looking at every day.
you know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I am going to be the unhost for tonight, and my name is Bill. Who is hosting? Because I'm not.
I'm Vicki.
I'm Audra.
I'm Kaan.
Is back.
With authority.
Yes, we're not playing two-dimensional chess this time. We're playing three-dimensional chess.
On a mahjong table.
That's right. And yep, indeed. Kaan from the Blind Apex podcast. Kaan of the My Car Isn't Ready podcast.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
It's not for lack of trying. It's for lack of
Oh, yeah, well, it's lack of situational awareness, I guess.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
but
So
whatever.
when is the best day to start working on a car? Yesterday. When is the best day?
In my case, 6 months ago.
Yes. Yes. Just remember, whenever you have a plan, the plan will break, and then you have to have plan B. And Miss Vicki has a question. Yes, Miss Vicki.
I think that you're talking through your computer. Double check that.
I should be talking through my computer. That's how podcasts work. But let me see. Let me see. So anyway, while I do some podcast stuff in the background, Kaan, why are we here?
We are here to have Bill's state of the podcast, state of the driver person, right?
Oh, I mean, you're the host, so I just do what you tell me.
I'm not the host. I have two lovely hosts with us.
I'm
I
here.
plan on kicking back. That's right. I'm going to let your wife throw the shots.
No.
No. All right.
No.
Con, when we first talked about this, your goal was to keep me out of the bathtub. So that was primarily for Miss Vicki. The rest of this is glory because I actually didn't get a sore back or anything that night. So I was very happy. Very happy.
Yeah. So you won at that one.
I did. Mission accomplished. Finally, a plan comes together. It's amazing. Anyway.
That's right. Oh, there he is.
Uh-oh. It's Santa Jeremy.
That's right.
Sort of.
When you need help from the Geek Squad from Best Buy, or when you need help from, the local IT authority, just call Jeremy and say, Jeremy, who do you use? Because you're inept at running a computer. I need the doc for this one. He sends me a text. Jeremy, I've sent you this doc every single time, but I'm sending it to you again. And you're on mute, by the way, there, buddy. So I'm making fun of you and you can't even fight back. So, hey, welcome to the podcast, Santa Jeremy.
Uh-oh, I just clicked the leave this podcast.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but you're here. So
Well,
It
obviously,
only
it's a
took my
computer thing.
computer 10 minutes to load.
I know. Well,
Pretty
Jeremy,
pretty good one today.
when you try podcasting from an Atari 2600, this is what happens.
Well, this is literally
Ouch.
the only thing I use a computer for. So I'm not buying another computer.
You're going to have to upgrade to an Intellivision
It's gonna brick before he's done with it.
100%.
What do you mean
And when
going
it
to
does,
brick?
I have a second one.
a second brick. He's on his way to building a house.
A second one, the exact same.
Awesome. So, Jeremy, we've already done the intros. We've already done the what we're doing, but we haven't started because we were waiting for Santa Jeremy, the present that just keeps on giving. And if you notice, you gave her a bunch of junk for coming on the podcast and not being here. Guess who's here?
Audra's here.
That's right. And she's about as ready for pit race as we are.
Did she tell you the story
ready?
of our track day?
No, we didn't talk about track. Let's talk about track.
She only
day.
had one word. She only had one word to say after driving the BMW.
Yes.
That was the word.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That was it. That's all she would say to me.
That's all right.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
So, Jeremy, you sent me a thing saying you need a doc. It's the same doc. It's the doc we used twice already. And I sent you another invite. So you should have it 4 times.
I'm opening it up right now.
Okay, very good. Anyway. All right, Kaan, you're the man. You're trying to herd these cats.
Oh man,
So
yeah,
screwed.
it's gonna be a little rough with this one. I think I'm outnumbered real well on this podcast, but I think we can get Jeremy to focus, and that might help me a little bit. So, let's start. Bill,
I don't think you know Jeremy very well then, apparently. But
probably not.
No.
In a previous podcast with Miss Vicki,
Yes.
you were the one that gave her the $500 lemon spiel to get into this here thing, right?
Yes.
What?
Sort of.
Okay. I mean, the $500 spiel is always the easy one. They don't tell you about the rest of it. But anyway, how did you get down this road?
So when I was a little, like tiny Bill, my mother worked at Topper Toys, which made Johnny Lightning as one of their brands, which is kind of like a version of Matchbox or Hot Wheels.
Okay.
So I literally had every single Topper Johnny Lightning set, and I was watching like the Indianapolis 500, and I thought one of my cars was Al Unser's car. So cars go back a long way for me, and I liked cars. I played with cars, and then I had to go to school, and then through lots and lots and lots of alcohol and semi depressants. Vicki said yes. So then we had kids, and then
Yes.
yes. But I made her write it down, so she had to acknowledge that it happened, so she can't get out of this. And when you look like me, you got to do what you got to do. So then we had kids, and then we found out quickly that little ones are not compliant with our previous hobby, which we met playing, which was volleyball. So whenever I would go play volleyball, or when Miss Vicki would try to go play volleyball, one of the children would go wandering onto the court, which is not very good. So we didn't do very much until the kids got a little bit older. And then we decided, hey, she started getting into Top Gear. Originally, she was the one who actually found Top Gear.
So then we went to a BMW event where they were basically trying to sell you a new car at Monticello,
Hmm.
and we did like autocross and then lead follow on laps and stuff. I let her win, and then she denies the whole thing, but it's fine. There's a method to the madness. And then one of our friends, or two of our friends who host a podcast, they had a show on Motor Trend at the time, and it was, they were going to Lemons, and they portrayed the Lemons situation as it's a $500 car. And then, I showed her that. She said that looks like fun, and we decided to go do that. And that was the end of our bank account. So that's how we got started.
Um, so yes, but you weren't spring chickens when you came
Mm-mm.
to
Nope.
the
So
racing scene.
many, many springs. So, like when
Hmm.
we have people on the podcast and they're like, "Oh, what was your first car?" and their first car is like a 2006, blah blah blah, and I'm sitting there going,
Right.
"Okay, no." I think the year that we started, I had just turned 50, and Miss Vicky
Ooh.
looked like she was 21, trying to get out of the bathtub every step I can. And we decided to start, and our oldest was 17 or 18. He had just gotten his license, and obviously a gift to all things driving and natural. And his goal at the time was to be an F1. I'm like, you're 6'2", you're already too tall, and you can't drive. But besides that, you're well on your way to F1. But that's how we got started. We got started, I was 50 and we went on a track, and everybody's like, "Oh, I started so late. I was like 17." And I'm like, "I started at 17 times 3."
Mhm.
But yeah.
Age in this sport only matters if you want to be a professional. And my understanding is you're going to spend a lot of money to get paid to do it. So,
Yep.
Just, you know what, here, just think about all the money we saved from not
From not
starting
racing
early.
until we were 50. This is true. This is true.
Did you really think that was a barrier though to entry, your age at the time?
No, it's not a barrier. It was just life circumstances and the amount of time. We didn't have spare time. My job is, a lot of people know what I do. My job is weird. We moved around the country, and by around the country, I mean around the country.
We did a smiley face.
Yeah, pretty much several times, laps and laps and laps. So the odds are we've probably lived near wherever you're listening from.
Hmm. We
We,
we weren't unpacking before we were packing again.
yeah, it's part of what we do. And then,
Hmm.
you know, life got busy. The kids are a priority, and I understand partially why a lot of the um, female participation isn't as high as I would love it to be. In that, predominantly traditionally they've taken a lead role in raising the kids, and the kids take 20, 25 years, and that little hole in their potential driving can be significant. And it's not required, but it seems to be that way. So there's a hole where it's really hard to do this. And we're having one of our teammates, I don't remember his name because I've never met him, but they're having a little one soon, and we're hoping that he can keep racing with us, but we're not counting on it. So it's tough.
Oh no, he will be racing with us.
I
Just
know.
Yeah.
not just
I know
maybe
he
3
says
races
that.
a year instead of 4.
I know he says that. I know you say that. I'm not sure she says that. But anyway,
Well,
Jeremy, do you have the van that you're going to kidnap him in?
Oh no. I
No.
have my truck and trailer. I'll just drive up and just throw him in the trailer and go.
I'll literally boot him out the door.
Like honk the horn and be like, meet me, and
Yeah.
he's running out.
Yep.
He'll hear
So
me coming.
indeed,
This is
indeed.
this
That's
is
right.
a pro tip from my late mother to your teammate who's having this child and anyone with children under the age of 17. When they turn 17, well, when I turned 17, my mother said, "You have 365 days. At 366 days, you are officially on borrowed time. So get it together."
Yep.
So
It's
don't
not
do
as
the
easy.
25-year thing.
It's not as easy now as it was then, but you know, it's something that we aspire to, but sometimes there's hiccups. And sometimes especially the 17 to say 25-year-old male isn't the smartest person I've ever met. So somewhere in there, the brain clicks back on, and then you just hope it to be early and hope that the lessons learned aren't terrible.
Well, around about 25, your frontal lobe is finally developed,
Or
and
exists, I think is the better way
right,
to put it.
he'll
Yeah.
he'll come around. Don't
Yeah.
worry. It
We
takes time.
Vicky's family, when I first met them, they referred to the that like 5 to 10 year period as the dark years. And
Yes.
and it's
No, no,
pretty
no,
it's
no.
pretty
Not
dark.
the not the 5 to 10. It's the teenage years. They refer to them as the dark years.
Yeah. But you don't come out of the dark years until like 25. Well, girls come out
Yeah.
around 22 or 21 or something like that, but
Listen, listen. Your job is, if it's a boy, is just to keep them alive
that's
until
right.
they graduate. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's right. Because
They're
they
they're a
are
little nuts. They're crazy.
it's
Well,
like I am infinitely talented and nothing could hurt me because I am made of steel.
Yep.
That's
yes.
right.
That's right.
That's right. We age to about 12, and then we just kind of grow older from there.
Yeah.
I think
We gray out.
I think somewhere around 50, we start going back down in the reverse pattern. So,
That's right.
Vicky's looking forward to me
Benjamin
being
Button.
yeah, exactly. Or what was the Mork from Mork? His son came out as Jonathan Winters and then got old, younger as anyway. Yes, I'm that old. Anyway, that's me. I started racing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but your passion started with Matchbox cars or the
Yeah.
Johnny
Lightning.
Rockets, right?
Johnny Lightning.
Johnny Lightning.
Johnny
And
Rockets is a diner.
and
Yes.
when Liam was huge, also into Hot Wheels, so we had Hot Wheels track through the entire house, going upstairs, and
We
we
had
would build these crazy things all through the house with Hot Wheel
It
tracks.
wasn't just in the house. It went out through the garage, into the driveway, across the street into our neighbor who
Oh,
also
stop!
with Araya, they set up these crazy tracks into the other house. It was nuts.
Oh, that's right, they did, didn't they?
Oh, there we go. Yes. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's wrong, Miss Vicky.
His friend lived across the street, so he tried to link the car tracks.
That's right. And we were living in Hawaii, so the garage is part of your house because house is expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how
So
we started.
that's how you started.
Yep.
And where do you consider yourself today as a driver?
So scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably like a 6.
Okay.
I'm a
Where would you
decent
like to be?
amateur driver. I have never aspired to be a 10. I would like to be an 8 or a 9,
Okay.
but I don't know what's between here and there. I have hit, I think my plateau is so big it's called a mesa or whatever, something big. It's huge.
You've been
Huge.
listening to track walking again.
I love the track walking podcast. Mesa. That and I just drove across
Yeah.
country, which was not as much fun as it sounds. It's much more fun if
No,
it was for fun. It was
it
for
never
work,
is.
and it sucked.
So Jeremy, since you were 9 out of 10
I know. I
doing
was
what
laughing
you
when he
do,
said that. Yeah.
uh, do you want to give him the quiz on his car skills?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
This is where Jeremy goes, I need the doc again. Anyway, go ahead.
so in our racing that we do, in our discipline.
In amateur
So
junk car endurance racing. Yes.
because you're like me and you don't want to really talk about how you whatever.
Yes.
Let's rate yourself
Okay.
1 to 10. Let's go with first braking. Now remember, this is our discipline. This is not
I know.
sprint racing. This,
I know. It's kind of like saying, how big are you relative to the rest of us shrimps? I'm the largest shrimp in the pond. I think for endurance racing, my braking is probably on the higher side, but I think it's still got there's some work to be done. I think we got some extremely good instruction when we went to NASA Great Lakes, and they did lots of drills and lots of different styles of braking. However, I think there's a difference between uh, skills that you learn through instruction and optimal racing skills. And I think there's a gap there, and it's kind of by design and on purpose. So for endurance racing, I'm probably in the 8-ish area. For absolute braking, I'm probably in the 5 to 6 area. I think there is some tendency with HPD type instruction to have a one size fits all, like all corners or late apex corners, and all braking is threshold braking until you get to, and then you do trail braking if they introduce trail braking. Some places don't even do that. So I think there's more varieties to braking relative to this type of turn or the different turns that I may not be as fluent at. Like if you were to put me on a scale of 0 to Tomo, I'm probably a 6.
So you said you were pretty good for the amateur endurance series.
Yeah.
Define what
We
is
don't.
good and what you need to do to get where you want to be.
So a lot of what endurance racing is about maintaining more or less a pace, be that in the pace of the car as well as the pace of the wear of the car or the wearing
Hmm.
out of the car. So you don't want to, at least at our level, we're not talking, IMSA and, crazy levels
Well,
because
unlimited
there's
budget's different, right? Unlimited
exactly.
budget's absolutely different.
So, like Jeremy, I like to leave some tire, leave some brake, perhaps have the car even running. Miss Vicky likes to set the record lap on the way in. Oh, wait, that was a shot. Anyway, um,
Yes.
You're going to end up in
I
the
know,
bathtub.
I know
Yeah.
that tub is coming.
You just
There's
got
your
home,
first
Bill. You
warning.
just got home.
The only thing that saves me is she doesn't hear me, so that's fine. So you can't do what everybody says. Oh, I'm doing a 10/10th lap, or we've heard even dumber references in the paddock. The paddock talk is so much fun. You should go to racetrack just to hear some of the people talk, and you just sit there and shake your head and go, "You have no idea what you're saying." But you want to leave a little bit, so you don't want your brakes to go on fire. You want to have, ideally, you don't want to change your brakes at all during the day, or ideally, you don't change them for the entire weekend, depending on what you're doing. So you want to leave enough in the car so that you bring it in with lots of life and it can make the rest of what needs to be done. So you never push things. And you also have to manage the risk of driving at 10 tenths in lemons, especially. You are allowed 0 tires to go off the track. So you're never really pushing there. And you can't really push those semi-questionable iffy passes, because if you touch, both cars go in for a black flag, and that's basically a 10-minute at the minimum penalty, and you can't afford that. So sometimes wisdom is the better part of valor, and you end up waiting for the next opportunity, or you wait for the next straight, or you pass on the way out of a turn as opposed to on the way in. So with that, you don't ever really have what I would call a true threshold breaking event of high significance, because you don't want to wear out the brakes, you don't want to wear out your tires, you don't want to risk locking things up. And honestly, some of our cars aren't good enough to do a threshold break and survive for the entire weekend. So you automatically ratchet it down a little bit. So you're probably braking on an absolute braking scale of somewhere in the 8 or 9 at max. And you don't want to do that every single time. So that's why I said at the level we're at for what I need to do to compete successfully in endurance racing, I'm pretty good. But there's still lots of performance lost
Right.
by
And
choice.
that's the thing is when you're running a 8/10ths, right? 99% of your laps you're running 8/10ths.
Yep.
You
Or
can
less.
easily,
Yeah.
or less. You can easily be at that. I'm very comfortable with how I brake at this, this preservation of the vehicle, lap that I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to Jeremy about it. I've talked to some other friends about it. Some of us have gotten to the point where we can do these laps pretty much like clockwork, and we won't have very many errors. So if we want to get better, I think, and this is Bill wisdom, not absolute wisdom, I think what we need to do is we need to get out there and do some sprint racing or do some really aggressive HPTE laps because
Yeah.
we don't make errors doing what we do. Like I can click off lap after lap after lap after lap and be within a couple tenths, assuming the traffic doesn't get crazy. 100 plus cars out there, it could be nuts. So, but if I don't push the limit anywhere, I'm not going to force an error, or my skills aren't going to break down, or my car is not going to reveal what the issues is, I think. But that's kind of the hypothesis I have going into this season.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the next topic, Jeremy?
Well, the next one here is let's talk about mid corner speed. Rate yourself, scale to 1 to 10, mid corner speed.
So I think my mid corner speed is probably plus or minus maybe 3 miles an hour from optimum. I think my bigger issue for mid corner speed is where I achieve the mid quarter speed. And sometimes for certain tracks or certain turns, my car angle at that mid corner speed. So that's where I think I have some opportunities to improve.
Yeah, so in my experience, um, and it's all sprint racing, so I don't
I know
you
a way we could
I
fix that.
yes, Bill. Yes,
Sorry.
Bill. I I just generally I don't see four cars entering a corner together.
Yeah.
Three you is the most we normally see.
Mhm.
And then so when you're entering the corner, it's you can generally be predictive.
Mhm.
And then when you want to put yourself in a situation, and the disparity of lap times isn't that great
Right.
In our groups that we're running. So it, it's easy for us to go, okay, I'm taking midline, inside line, or the outside line,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And then I know how to pitch my car, where to pitch my car, how to overslow, and then when I can get on the gas. But when you have them as plentiful as they are in the lemons race, it seems like
Yep.
that can probably be troublesome. But I think you're right. Going to a sprint race format for some educational purposes will help you figure out where to stress the car because you could probably set up four cars at one time if you go, I'm going to burn this 10 tenths braking opportunity
Mhm.
that I have, once per session or once every 5 or 10 laps, I'm gonna play this card now to get the best run on these four cars, assuming you have awareness and track awareness of what's ahead of them, that type of thing. So
Yeah, I think you'll do well managing the traffic when you're at the
mhm.
race in New Jersey in May. And I think the thing that will perhaps cause you the most angst is the sheer variability of lap times, because
Hmm.
we will easily have 20 seconds discrepancy in the field, many times much more than 20 seconds. And with the car that you'll be in with us, we're kind of towards middle of that, maybe slightly low middle, but it's
Bill's
a
trying to get
Honda.
me in the bathtub.
But it's a Honda, so
Yeah.
so you'll know how to drive a Honda. So I expect, it's wonderful. But the I think that's the bigger challenge is sometimes you will come up on a tight turn complex and one car in the pack of four or five is going, oh my God, slow. And then one of the cars invariably is going, oh my God, fast. And then the other two, you're kind of plus or minus about the same. But it it's it's sometimes sometimes it just works out and sometimes it feels like you're passing a kidney stone. It just it just sometimes it doesn't work. But then there's some exemplary racers in our series, multiple series, that it doesn't seem to slow them down. They just kind of like whoosh right through. And I'm not one of the whooshers, but I'm probably pretty close.
That's traffic management.
Oh, I
You
know,
gauge
but
that. You gauge that long before you even get to your braking zone.
oh, 100%. It's just sometimes you're just sitting there going, the slow car does something, or one of the cars doesn't see the slow car until, oh my God, and then they check up. And sometimes you just sit there and go, were you looking at the car before or,
Get
you know,
those damn Tempos and Cordobas off the track.
Cordoba's so big. Anyway, Kaan's sitting there going, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I can't
All
wait to
right.
be there in NJMP in May.
He'll see eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually.
I know, in May.
All right. So we talked about mid corner,
Yep.
talked about braking.
Yep.
Let's talk about our corner entry. How do you
Entry's
feel
pretty
about
good.
your corner entry?
Entry's pretty good, especially if there's nobody there. If there's somebody there, I am fully fluent and over the years of there are several places at several of the tracks we go to where you will literally have three lines through the turn, and it's not outside, inside, outside. It's kind of like a three-lane road. You just kind of all stay in your lane and go around, and it's kind of weird. Kaan's sitting there going, "Why are you doing that?" You'll see, Kaan,
Yeah.
in May. Um, so
I may be
entries.
too aggressive for this game
Yeah, you are.
because
No,
We'll
no.
talk.
You'll
We'll
be
talk
fine.
you off. We'll talk you off that.
if no, because if I see I'm not doing three side by side for more than one single corner
True, you won't.
before I'm gonna over under somebody
Yep, you will.
hardcore.
You will.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
No,
fine.
and that's fine. But
It's
we do it all the time. Everybody does it all the
the
time.
key
All right.
is Con when you're there in May. No tires off and no contact.
Actually, June.
Is it June? June. We'll see you in June.
Okay.
And then we'll see you again in at VIR. So it'll be a home and home series. So you'll be with us, we'll be with you. It'll be fantastic.
Okay. In Summit Point, right?
And some
Yes. In
See.
October.
That's right. Con can't get enough of us.
All right. What about your corner exits? Your corner exits.
I think uh it should come as little surprise to many of our longtime listeners and will come as zero surprise to Miss Vicki. I am constantly looking to learn and looking to get better. I know it's a shock. So one of the things I learned over this winter is a better way to judge your exit, as in instead of it being a range, actually being a point and trying to move that point around and judging that. I think that was Lizard Brain podcast, another excellent podcast, along with the Blind Apex podcast. Why is that so funny? Anyway, I do plugs for everybody else. It's fine. But I think that is something that I could bring into my racing and improve my exits. I think the thing that I do well with exits is I think I'm probably like a 7.5 as far as getting back to full throttle as early as possible in the proper spot, but I'm not sure it's absolutely the proper spot. So that's why I say there's probably some room for improvement there. Scott, you got a lot of work to do, man. Sorry, this is all I got, and I'm giving it to you.
So, okay, so me, in my lack of experience here, if you're trying to conserve tire, brake,
Yeah.
your combination is not the same as when I can get to full throttle.
Yeah, full throttle, we tend to do that pretty liberally.
I mean, I know it's just a Civic and it shouldn't light up the tires too easily, but when you're talking about ranging out, I think fast entry, smooth exit would do your balance of I need to save the tires, I need to save the brakes, because especially in a front wheel drive, you have that steering wheel tied to the gas pedal thing is extremely applicable.
So, yes, but the safer, easier way to pass somebody is on the way out of a turn with lower risk, because 80-90% of the drivers will see you coming, but 10% might not. And
I think that number is a little high.
maybe too many won't see you, or too many will see you.
I would say more along the lines of 65 to 70% are going to see you.
Okay. So you don't want to do any late entry, corner entry type passes, because you'll know
Okay.
who you can trust, and then you'll know I don't trust you, and then there'll be like a smaller group of in between. I'm not sure I can trust you yet. And so entry passes are more risky than exit passes.
That's fair.
Yeah. There's still a lot of people in Lemons that think they can run a racing line
There is no line.
with 140 cars on the racetrack. And and you learn which cars those are very quickly. And it might not be every driver for that car, but
No,
you learn it very quickly. And that's what Bill's talking about right now is you know who you can come inside of when you enter a corner and who you can't.
yeah. Or who will come right across your bow. Um, Sometimes prematurely when they're completing their pass because they've got to get back to the line and they may or may not realize that your car does not have a cloaking field or can go invisible or intangible. So they would literally hit you if you don't hit the brake pedal.
So, being that this is our third one, I've picked up on this theme in that there is no line in Lemons. It's repeated multiple times.
Hmm.
So, what, how is your, how would you rate yourself as a driver driving offline since that's what you do all the time?
So the two things that I think everybody on this call, minus Kaan, who hasn't done an endurance race until the summer, the two things that we're really good at is seeing traffic and flags
Hmm.
and driving offline because especially on a Saturday when the car count is quite high,
Right.
you're probably going to hit 10 to 25% of the turns where you can actually use the line, and that might be high. And the rest of the time, you're just making the best you can with what you got. And sometimes that could mean taking a turn outside, outside, outside. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
it is what it is. And sometimes it's inside, inside, inside. Like when you go to NJMP at the Thunderbolt track, there's this term called the octopus. You will be doing the octopus inside, 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 even if there is nobody there, because it's the faster way. But you learn these things, and getting through like an HPD drill or a racing license certification type class or event. The two things that I never had to worry about was seeing flags and seeing other cars on the track, and proximity is something you get better at because lemons they kind of stay too far apart
Mhm.
just because people don't know that staying close would be safer. But seeing things, especially cars and flags, it's you don't survive long in lemons if you don't see both of those.
Okay. Jeremy, do we have any more categories we need to quiz him on?
I don't
Did he mute
remember.
himself? Oh, you don't
No,
remember?
I don't remember what I'm trying to think of what he quizzed me on. And he still kind of beat around the answers. He kind of went into explanations of all kinds of stuff instead of actually answering
Well, I'm not going to
questions.
say a 9.5 like you. I'm at 9.5 across the board. I'm God's gift to racing. Look at my beers.
I said I am comfortable with what I do. I'm very comfortable at what I do. Um,
I go so fast, my beard's behind me. Anyway,
no, yeah, actually, how about, I mean, you talked about it a few minutes ago, but how about, how do you feel about your traffic management skills?
there's probably 5 to 10% of the field that are like traffic savants in lemons.
Mhm.
So they're better than me. I'm probably in that next tier. So it's good, but there's still room to be better. And some of that, um, being totally honest, is by choice. I am older. I am debatably wiser. And with that wisdom comes more um, as a result of life and responsibilities. I'm not going to go for the pass. I would take it a little more preservation, both for me and the car. So I may see a pass, I may have a pass, I may choose to wait. And
Hmm.
and
You're risk averse.
yes. Yeah. Like 10 tenths racing to me is something I'm going to have to work on because I don't think my 10 is really 10, if that makes sense. But I don't even
Is
know how to
that
get to my
why?
10. I think so.
Is that why you prefer endurance to sprint?
No, I don't know that I prefer endurance to sprint is what we've done. So one of the things that frustrates me about endurance racing is not the people are great, the events are great, Lemons is great. However, I don't know, and this is part of the bill being competitive. I don't know how good I am because all the cars are so widely varied. I don't know if the person who passed me is better at driving or their car is better, or I don't know that. So that's why I want to do some sprint racing with, say, Spec E46, or Miss Vicky's going to be doing her Spec Miata, or maybe I'll do ST4 or 5. I don't know where my car fits. I want to do some of that to see where I am, fully expecting, much like Kaan can predict when somebody pops out of HPDE, he knows exactly where they're going to be in the field and he knows exactly how far off the pace they're going to be. I expect to be towards the back, but I want to work my way towards the front and see where I can go. And I'm not going to be, God's gift to racing. I'm probably too risk averse to that. But one of my long-term goals was to get to the middle of the pack of a GLTC race in a GLTC car. Damn, those guys are getting really fast, and those girls are getting even faster. So I don't know that that's possible because they just keep going. And now it's like, don't finish last in the GLTC field because the field just keeps going faster and faster.
So it's absolutely possible. And I think ST or a GLTC type car or ST4 car, GLTC combo car would scratch some itches for you.
Yeah, I
It
need
would
that
let
competitive edge a little more. Yeah.
but I think there's the build the engineering brain that needs to get scratched too in all of this.
Hmm.
And I
That's why Vicky
think
works on the car. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have this great idea, Vicky. Can you get it in the car for me? That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking for you. But
100%.
uh, for
Yeah.
me, in what I do, car development is a big itch for me, right? It's
Right.
one of the reasons I picked the chassis I picked. I wish our rules were a little more open because I see how open but competitive GLTC is, and I'm like, man, they get really creative,
Hmm.
right?
It's a bigger spot,
So
bigger box.
bigger box to color in, okay?
Hmm.
But my class allows me, Honda Challenge H2 allows me to color pretty well. It gives me enough, and I'm in a chassis that isn't so much everything's off the shelf, right? So,
Not yet. No.
oh, I don't think ever. I think it's going to get ignored.
No.
Everybody's jumping ship to the 10th and 11th gen Civics
Hmm.
Plus.
Hmm.
So, I don't think they're ever going to go back to the 8th gen Civic, but I mean, I'll build my custom rear sway bar, right? That's okay. I
Yeah,
think you
I
need some
no
of
interest
that.
in that. I
No,
don't.
I bet ah, mm,
I
there's a
can,
lot of fun math and geometry and all that jazz in there.
but
Maybe I'm
all
wrong.
those suspension black magic gurus. I just look at that and go, it's witchcraft. I don't know what you people are talking about.
Ah, but you can learn voodoo. I'll buy you a little doll.
A little
We'll get
doll,
you
okay.
some pins,
All
or
right.
maybe Vicky, can you make him a doll
Well, she
and
can probably
some
lend me
like
the one she has.
some
I
not
could. I
you don't want to
could.
stick pins in yourself, Bill. You want to stick
Oh,
pins
that's
in
true. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe.
So
I think I need some Jackie time, maybe.
yeah, but I, it is a different animal. I think the level of aggression will surprise you um
Hmm.
a
But it
lot.
but it's just a different itch that needs to get scratched because I'm not scratching that itch right now.
Okay.
That's kind
You
of where
just
I'm
need
at.
to get in the car. You haven't driven in forever.
Yeah, so
I'm I,
let's talk a little.
I'm going into
When
the
is the
bathtub if
last
I
time?
come up with an answer.
When,
I'm editing myself because I want to curse right now.
So
Go ahead. Yes, yeah.
when's the last time you were in a car, Bill?
I don't know if I got in a race at pit race last year. I don't. I
you
know
did not.
the car broke. So that would have been 2023 in a
Okay.
race.
2023 June, we were at Grid Life
I think I did
in
New
June.
Hampshire. I think I did New Hampshire with Audra and Max.
You did New Hampshire with Audra in October of 23.
I've been in the
Okay.
car for HPDs, but not for races.
Right. But
We had a bad car year last year.
yeah, I understand that. It happens, right? My
Yep.
2025
That's
hasn't really started off that great. You know?
So far, your 2025 looks a lot like our 2024. You should aim
Right.
higher.
So yeah, I'm working on it, I swear. But
All right. We
uh
are available for subcontracting help. You just feed us and we'll come down and help.
you do need to
We don't have
you
any skill,
uh,
but we'll eat.
your goals. Your wife told you that you have to get back out on track every race.
Okay.
It was her goal for you. So
I hear this.
and I love that goal.
Yeah.
I do too.
Do we want the thunder yet now, Con, or we want to get
You
to it later?
you have no excuse this year.
Do I?
You have no excuse.
Okay. Okay.
Let's get to the Thunder then,
Right.
because you're one to self-admit your Thunder, so go for
Yes.
it.
I don't know how to get faster from where I'm at.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like the itch isn't being scratched. So it's kind of, is the juice worth the squeeze? So this is my year. I'm doing, Vicki and I are doing the coaching thing. And
Mm-hmm.
if that doesn't get my racing itch scratched, I'm going to be an HPD instructor and team manager.
I'm not going to allow that.
Jeremy's not allowed.
Yeah.
I'm not allowing that.
Yeah,
You're
get your
racing.
truck and trailer. We're kidnapping him.
Yeah. On the way through, I'm gonna hit Massachusetts, and then I'm gonna hit PA on the way down to Virginia.
Yeah.
So,
Get in the trailer now.
So I need to have some. I love the lemon stuff. I love the endurance racing stuff. It's great. But I need some competitive stuff to make it worth the time, the money, the anger, the effort, the everything, or
Okay.
else it's not doing it.
The Lucky Dog and the AER this year are gonna do that.
This is like midnight confession time, with like Loveline or something, right? So
Yes.
yes, this
is Bill
this is a
from
little
near
dramatic.
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Right. Right. Okay. You have to be
Yes.
old to know that reference anyway.
Yes,
But
yes, Dr. Drew.
but so
you don't look like a 94-year-old Jewish lady that's quite short. So I went Dr. Drew. But anyway,
it's kind of I mean, I didn't know specifically what the details were, but I knew you were you had this internal struggle, right? But
this is all consuming. I know for you, it's all consuming because you're kind of an island unto yourself. You try to have a good racing program. You're very competitive and aspirational. And I think with no belittlement of what you're doing, endurance racing is probably worse in terms of its demand, both prep and through the weekend.
What I deal with in a year, you deal with in between races.
Right. And I have wondered for the past 2 years, sometimes, many times, why are we killing ourselves?
Because you're driving Hondas.
I have multiple different chariots. And listen, you can't say
sorry,
a damn
that opportunity was there.
You can't say a damn thing, Mr. Volkswagen.
So
it's not like that's the mecca of a car that runs like a top.
No, the S10 is the
I know,
the
that's a sad part.
ultimate endurance vehicle.
Yeah, the village bicycle.
My concern is, and I'm sure it's shared with everyone on this call, because they want to see your success this year, they want you to scratch that itch
Hmm.
so you don't step back, but also so you have more fun, right?
Sure.
For all the frustration, I can personally tell you when you get back out there, you get into that competitive environment and you're successful, depending on how you define it. Okay.
Success is getting better.
Right. So
I
you
haven't
get,
gotten better in 3 years.
okay. That, I thought you guys were with Miss Jackie
Yeah, that was the
before
last time.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
that was June of 23.
was it?
Yes, it was.
See, see,
Feels
see,
worse.
he's cheating himself.
Feels
He
worse.
And
is.
this
He
was
is.
this is what happens when things compound, right?
Well, we haven't had
You
the best year. If you listen to the OnlyFans episode, it's been quite a
the
trying 6 months.
OnlyFans. Yes. Okay. This is
So there could
Yes.
be compounding outside racing junk.
yes, absolutely. And but you need to, what's your plan? And let's try to refine it for 2025 so we can get you successful. Because I promise you, one good weekend will erase months
It could.
of this stuff. It does
So
for me. I don't know. But
yeah, well, I'm hoping. So it's kind of like golf, you got to hit that one good shot to get you to come back the next time. But anyway,
yes.
I'm expecting pit race to be a debacle, not because of anything to do with Jeremy. It's just he's got a brand new BMW build and we've got a brand new resuscitated truck. Something's probably going to happen. So there's this is a no pressure weekend. It's like
Hey,
Okay. So you set the bar low.
the bar is
it's a no pressure weekend.
yeah,
If one of the two of them for some reason doesn't work,
or
we just
both.
all drive the other one.
Yeah. And I'm trying to lobby with Eric to have a hell of a theme that if both cars go down, we can have a whole lot of fun theme party weekend. So that's kind of the goal. New Jersey, I'm able to race, so that'll be good. I think
It.
Lucky Dog at VIR is going to be the hopefully the unveiling of the E46 that I have, and we're going to try to compete. So that's the first opportunity to scratch the itch again. Um, I can't do the Thompson race because I have work, and then we're going to try to do Summit Point. But somewhere in there, I'd like to add into our schedule, time and budget permitting, one or two race weekends, like
Hmm.
sprint of some type, and then obviously we got to get our HPDs because we that's what we roll. So we have a big schedule that's so not scheduled yet, but those are kind of the weekends TBD, but that's kind of the plan as I see it, and that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Plus, we have a coach, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
And you know how to pull all your data and be ready, or is he coming live
No,
to
he's
sit
not
with you
coming
guys?
live. We're doing
Okay.
remote coaching with Scott Robertson and Becky, and we're going to be probably streaming, if not putting stuff on the interwebs on YouTube, and the data will be shared, and we will either do it during the weekend or after the weekend.
Oh
Uh,
no, we're gonna be streaming.
but schedules, well, I have to
The
have a
Sentinel.
car. I have to have a car to put it in, so I still don't have a car. Um, so we need to get that set up, and then reviewing data either during the weekend or after the weekend. And then we just have to be able to get on a racetrack frequently enough where we don't forget what we were doing and make it of value. And part of the problem with that is I am in a conflict with the racetrack that I was, Vicki and I were members of. So that's not available anymore. And we have to figure out what we're going to do as far as events. I'm thinking maybe Vicki and I and whoever wants to go, we should probably go to some events during the week and make the weekends a little more open.
Yeah, we could just jet down to Pocono.
Yeah, we could. It's not the best track, but yes.
No, but
It's a
we don't need the best track. We just need
it's
a
a
track.
racetrack, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's fun.
Well, it depends on the configuration that you run. Some of them are good. Some of them are, oh my God, terrible. But anyway,
Well, you got to shake the car down. You got to shake the driver down.
yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yep.
you got to get back out there.
Yeah.
So,
And the coaching will be a key because like I kind of hinted at and probably said, I am as good as I am, and I don't know where to go from here to get there. I know there's a there, but I don't know how to get there from where I'm at. And there's plenty of there. There's a
okay.
lot. And that's why I'm looking forward to no pressure, Scott.
We both have a lot to get there, and John Rudolph is going to come sit with both of us.
Uh,
Scott, his whole racing career is counting on you.
no worries. I got great confidence in Scott and Becky.
Yes.
Their student, definitely questionable, but coaching, no problem.
You have to listen, Bill.
They only have so much to work with, though, Kaan. I mean,
Yeah. Well, raw talent is raw talent,
Yeah, if there's talent there. Otherwise, it's just raw meat.
No, no.
So by the end of this summer, we'll have everything figured out, and probably Miss Vicky will be 1 or 2 seconds a lot faster than me, and I'll still be sitting here going, I don't know what I'm doing. So, which I would be totally cool with. There is nothing wrong with managing the team, leading the way on liveries, and having a good time during the weekend. The endurance racing crowd do not plan on not seeing me. I just may not have a helmet on.
Right, depending
Yeah.
on the theme. You could have some kind of helmet on,
Yeah.
construction
Right,
worker
right.
or something,
Yeah, we could do the village people. We'll do the
I'm
YMCA
I'm
thing.
not going to let that happen.
Uh-huh. Oh, all I know is if it involves starting a computer, you have no choice because you take forever.
Listen, this computer is like 12 years old,
Yeah.
and
And so are you.
it takes a long time to start. It's just what it is.
I know. Well,
Mm.
if you change it from Windows 95, maybe you'd be a little anyway. Yeah.
I just updated to 97.
Oh, look at you. I'm at 3.11 now.
Okay, we're all dating ourselves, but
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Well, nobody else will date me, so. Audra, why
All
so
right.
quiet? You haven't said a word.
She
I
got
said
a word
couple
in,
words.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
just a
yeah.
couple.
All right. Very well.
All right,
Mhm.
Audra, do you have the doc open?
I have the dock open.
Okay. Question number 5.
Favorite and/or best race and worst race weekend. So your favorite race, your best race, and then
Favorite
your very
race.
worst.
I think my favorite race might have been our first race, where we were blissfully unaware. We were doing pit changes every 30 minutes. Liam was there. We had a
Liam's
1974 Capri. I got passed by a car and said, "Oh, they're friends. I'll follow them." And then I proceeded to wreck the car and find out that the car that passed me was Black Betty, which is like literally the fastest car on the track, and I'm in a 74 with 205 tires. So, needless to say, they could go on turns pretty well. And just driving home from that and saying, literally, I think as a quote, I think we found our idiots. And,
Yeah.
we didn't know all the idiots because Jeremy was there, but we didn't know him. And obviously, Jeremy's an idiot. But that was kind of my favorite race. Our best race was probably pit race 2022, maybe somewhere around there. We won in El Jefe and we did really well. And the funny thing was, we didn't know we were winning until like the hour and a half from the end. We just looked at the scorecard for the first time. We're like, "Hell, yeah, we're winning this race by like 7 laps." I'm like, even I can't screw up 7 laps. But
It was quite funny.
yeah, but then we proceeded to strap me into the car where I couldn't reach the clutch, and I'm sitting there driving around for the last 2 hours, going, maybe I can screw up this 7 laps. We did fine. That was good. Worst racing weekend, without doubt. Charlotte Roval with Lucky Dog, their first ever East Coast race, not due to anything related to Lucky Dog. We were running two
Oh, that was
cars at the
tough.
time. Two cars at the time. Vicky and I had burned out probably 3 weeks before the race, and then we took everything down for the race, and then we had accident at the race, and Jennifer got hurt, and nobody was in the mood for anybody, and the team basically blew up. Most of it was my fault for losing my temper because I have a really long fuse, but when I go,
Yeah.
I go in a big way, and I
That
went in
was
a
the
big way.
weekend that the truck even we had
Don't do it. Don't say it.
no, we had friends
Don't say
who
it.
were driving it and well, I am.
Okay.
And they hit a cone
Oh, that
and
wasn't
they
where I was going.
no. And we were just like, don't put it in fifth. And they're like, oh, we just put it in fifth just for a little bit because it shreds the transmission.
Yeah.
But they end up hitting a cone and dragging the cone. And when they did that, they ripped an oil line off somehow. But there was oil all over the track. It just emptied right out onto the track. Yeah. And that
Oh,
was one of our guest drivers. So the truck had to come in and get managed and
And
that's
BMW was dead, so it
and
was
yeah, our whole team blew up that weekend.
yeah. So that's sucky weekend.
Yeah, that was our worst weekend.
We can do better.
oh, that's
I
harsh.
forgot about that one. Yeah, we actually somebody had brought the BMW. They bought it for parts and they said the only thing that wasn't damaged on it was the gas cap.
You might have because it was bent front to back, side to side, and had a twist.
Yeah.
So it was bent in like 3 degrees of freedom. And
That's
Jennifer,
talent.
thank
yeah,
you. It was good.
Jennifer had a fractured rib,
Mhm.
but she had to drive home in a mobile RV. And she pretty much bounced the entire way. And I
Oh,
think at that point it was just broken. So they had to stop off in Virginia to go back into the hospital to go get the x-ray done
Again. Yeah.
again. And it's like, yeah, it's broken. So
Yeah.
she ended up sleeping for 4 or 5 weeks sitting up in an armchair.
hmm And
Yeah.
I'd call her every day and tell her a joke. It was great.
Yep. That was a rough weekend. But we recovered after that.
We did.
That's the weekend where you learn to delegate.
Yeah, we didn't do great at that.
Yeah,
Two
whenever
two
we're
people, no mechanical skill, no shot against Miss Vicki. There's definitely no mechanical skill with me. Um, Prepping 2 race cars and doing the entire paddock and doing the bringing both cars down multiple states. And it didn't go
all the registration, all the
every,
camping. We
everything.
every our whole team were just guest drivers. So we had to prepare the food,
That was
and
our
that's
fault.
what it
But
was our fault. It was absolutely our fault because we didn't understand delegation, you know.
mhm.
So that's
Yep.
when we all came. Literally, I think after that race, I don't think anybody talked to each other for like 3 months.
No, it was less than that, but
No, I really do. I think it was 3 months. Um,
you let me out of the tub like the next
no,
weekend.
no, besides us,
Oh,
besides
okay.
us.
All right.
Yeah.
The pillow was
Um,
very nice by that last day. It was good.
yeah.
It was good.
But I think when and then we were kept trying to work our way back together. We were working our way back together. But there was still a lot of stuff that was said that weekend that was really kind of difficult hurdle to come over and the ways that everything kind of fell apart. But we all kind of did work our way back together. And then we just restructured everything after that. And everything's been better ever since then. But
We can do
when
one race car.
yeah, we can do one race car and we can support another race car
Mhm.
adjacent.
And
But
we can always work as a group together, but
we
prepping
can't
and it's
we
really
can't
hard.
prep two vehicles
Race
to
after race after
go.
race after
And
race
we
after race.
can't what was it? We can't support two vehicles, but we can support each other. So that's when our other teammate now has one of our vehicles and he races with adjacent to us. So because if he's going to have his entire family, well, we can't support his entire family in a sense, and then prep for all that. So, if that is kind of the norm that they want to go into, well, why don't we just have two cars, but you take this as if it's like a separate team, but still together, like a sister team that we
And that
work adjacent. We work adjacent very tightly is what it would it end up becoming.
Yep. And that's what has become with us over the last few years too.
Right. It just becomes easier if you can just manage one solid vehicle versus lots of vehicle trying to get everybody on the track at one time. But that
But
was early on. Now it's much easier. Now we can kind of roll with it
well, we
because
also
everything's
know a
in
little bit
place.
about cars, but I don't think, and I won't let it happen, is Jeremy was able to prepare two cars as the lead for this race. But if he were to have to do it for New Jersey and for Thompson and for New Hampshire and for Summit Point, Jeremy would not be happy Santa by the end of this year. He would be just like worn out.
Yeah. I mean, I would make it happen, but yeah, at the end
Yeah.
of the year, I would go, okay, I'm going to step back for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just there's a limit to what you can do. And
But
Yeah.
that's why it was nice, to be able to tell the two of you, listen, you got a lot of stuff going on. Take the winter. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, I have
I
to
will make
tell
sure that
you.
these two vehicles are.
Vicky had time to switch her background so that her car number is in the right way as opposed
I
to
do I do have to say, Jeremy, that I think that was probably the best gift that we ever had, and I'm so glad we took up on it because I literally opened the garage last weekend or last week. Last week the garage was open. I put one of the cars in there. I'm doing the brake job on the Cooper right now. I have to get back to it. But it was really odd because of everything that we were going through just to give ourselves permission to say, let's take the winter off. This is the first time in many years that we've done that. And we desperately needed it. Um, and now we feel more revitalized to go into this season. I don't think we would have functioned well this winter at all with everything that went down for the family.
Yeah.
So it was a gift. It was definitely a gift.
And a huge shout out to Ryan for helping us out with the
Oh my
with the truck.
gosh.
So we were able to get the BMW done up here. Ryan had some free time. He was able to
Hmm.
get the stuff done on the
Hmm.
truck. So it's just been, we made it all
Yeah.
work. We made it all work.
Yeah, I'm heading over there tomorrow to go grab it and run it over to the shop, and we're going to start theming on it this weekend. So,
I'm waiting for the moment where Miss Vicky realized that she's going to go get the truck and she's got a theming meeting tomorrow night, and the two do not coincide. But
no, I'll be out early because you'll be here for the dog. Our dog got surgery also, so Bill's going to stay behind with the dog. Oh,
yeah,
dog can't walk right now.
she's limping around like I do,
Yeah.
which is sad.
So, yeah, I'll leave first thing in the morning, go grab it, bring it back. I'll be back by dinner time for sure.
Yep.
And
Who's
then
running the
podcast.
show?
So
Who's running the show?
yeah, let's get this thing, Con. Let's get this thing back on track. We kind of got sidetracked there.
We kind of did. Sorry about
What's
that,
sidetrack?
guys.
It's a podcast. It's known the equivalent definition for podcast is digression.
That's why we're trying to reel it back in. Let's reel it back into all about Bill.
But enough about me. What do you think about
Yeah.
me? Anyway,
I plead the fifth.
it's probably better
You
that way.
plead the fifth. Do you have another question on the board? How long do we want to go? Are we going to Joe Rogan this one?
Whatever. I am but clay
I'm
in
good.
your hands.
Oh no.
So
We're going to make you a yard gnome if you're clay.
Mhm.
You know.
I got one more. I'm going to ask one more. So,
Okay.
Bill, when you first started this whole thing,
Yep.
what was the biggest surprise to you about either racing or high performance driving? What was the biggest surprise to you?
Biggest is hard to do. I would say there's a bunch of them. Some of the
Right, but pick one.
bigger ones. In an effort to stay out of the tub, I will not do my joke that Vicky's actually good at it.
Hmm.
Oh, damn it, she's listening again. That's like twice
I'm
today.
here. I'm so exhausted right now. I'm so exhausted.
I know she's doing.
I know,
the
but
big,
paying
the big
attention.
slide. I know
It's hard. I'm leaning sideways now.
Yeah.
I'm on half laying down.
Yes, we know. I think the biggest surprise to me was how little street driving skill meant when driving on track. Like you can drive exceptionally well on the street and be a clueless, terrible person on track because they are not even, it's almost like they're not even related.
I like it, and you're not wrong. Like
No,
that's I think that a lot of people, those of you that are listening and trying to get into this as well, you need to understand that that is 100% accurate. They are completely different animals. It's like saying that a house cat is the same thing as an elephant.
I mean, 4 legs.
Right, right.
Yes. Neither one has been in my kitchen. How about that? How about that for a reference, huh?
But I have
So,
one more question.
Oh,
Yes, Audra,
I have
Yeah.
she
more
got a
speaks.
answers.
question.
Ultra's
Woohoo!
alive.
Hey,
What?
so what is the best part for you? What is the part that keeps bringing you back? What is it that you truly enjoy about it?
I mean, it's kind of externally, it's the people. The people are great. I love everybody in the paddock, even the people I don't like in the paddock. They're still cool.
Yeah,
Um,
you can go to the dog park and talk to some people.
I don't like those people. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Um,
They're weird.
they are a little weird. They got dogs. I'm just kidding, people. We have a dog too. It's a joke. Oh, Vicki heard that too. That's three. This is the record-breaking podcast. We're gonna have to publish this one. I think the thing that keeps me going and probably is the biggest part that's lacking from endurance racing is, or maybe it just in competitive racing, because I'm kind of thinking, do I just do time trials? But it's getting better, and I don't feel like I've gotten better in a while, and I need to do that. Just
So when
that's
you're out there driving, there's no part of it that you're just like, wee, I'm having a good time.
no, I love. If you were to say what do I love most about cars, I love turning hard. I love lateral G's, not longitudinal G's, not braking G's, turning. It makes me happy. And I do my best every single lap, every single turn, every single car that I pass, and every single car that passes me. Hopefully, there's more of one than the other, but depends on me and the car. What I don't know, and Kaan and I talked about this way pre-podcast, I don't know what I'm not doing. Like, it's kind of like I don't know what I don't know. And I know where I'm at is like, let's just pick a number, 7 or 6, whatever. And I want to get to 9, but it's like the unidentified, unknowing path to get there. So you would think after, where are we at? Like, I don't even know, 700 podcasts, 800 podcasts. I don't even remember what number it is. I've been talking too long this podcast. With all the people we've talked
It's your
to,
podcast to
I
talk.
know, I know. But I'm the weirdest person. I don't want to talk, but I have a podcast. What the hell? Anyway, um, I don't know what I'm missing or what hasn't clicked or what the next, like, I don't need to get all the way from, let's say, 6 to 8 in one step, but I don't know what those steps are, and therefore I can't do it. So I'm kind of at hopefully at a point where I can improve, but I don't independently know what it is, which is why we decided we were going to get a coach.
But how did you get to 6?
It's natural skill and good looks, Audrey. You know,
Oh,
the usual stuff. That's how I live my life. That's how I roll. How did I
Pure,
get to 6?
pure raw talent.
Yeah, gift racing, I think, was mentioned more than once in my past. No. How did I get to 6?
That one time at band camp.
That one time at band camp. I can't believe that flute. But anyway, um, how did I get there? It's a combination. I would say the two main things that helped me is uh NASA Great Lakes. Can't recommend them enough as an HPD group. And I made a decision to work on my racing 1 hour a day, every day, every day. And I did that for
Have you continued to do that?
not in the past year,
Okay.
maybe a little more than a year, because I wasn't. Maybe I wasn't getting out on track enough to see it, or I wasn't feeling it, or I wasn't seeing it. Like just because let's say I do a minute 40 lap, because that's a nice round 100 seconds, right? I always use a minute 40. It's just the way my math works. I can do 140, a minute 40 or 100-second lap, and then 2 weeks later do the same 100-second lap, but I could be better. So it's not necessarily lap time, but I stopped seeing lap time improvement and or feeling of improvement, and it just kind of the big plateau, and that took away some of the fun, because Miss Vicki likes to refer to it as Bill gets a bone, and Bill tries to get everything he can out of the bone. And right now my bone, I don't know, this is a bad analogy, my bone is empty, and that's probably not the way I want to say it, but
it's really going not. That's not what I say at all.
whatever. Whatever, something like that. But I don't feel like I'm getting better in any absolute way or even relative way.
It's
You're not
because we need to
driving, you're
get
not
you
putting
in
that
the
hard day
car.
into it.
I would have to say you have not had seat time in a long time.
We got to
Attack.
get you in the car this
You're
year.
you're
A
at the
lot of seat
races
time.
a lot,
Staying out
but
of
you're not actually in the vehicle.
bathtub. Anyway,
Attack.
yes.
Attack. Okay. So I have one save round for sure. What? So you've been doing this roundabout for a while, and when you weren't doing it, you were educating yourself.
Yes.
What is one tip you could give a new driver coming into this world
Stop
of
waiting.
H?
Stop
Okay.
waiting for your car to be perfect and go to the track and get an instructor. You're not
What do
going
you
to be.
mean, Bill? I don't have to put a supercharger on my car and have 700 horsepower?
Yeah,
No.
but
I don't have to
I-
have massive brakes and big tires.
Nope. You're not going to drive
No.
well enough the first time you ever go on track to push your car. Make it safe. Get out
So-
there and learn.
So, okay. So the first half of that was get out there.
Yep.
And I think everyone on the podcast wants you to get out there.
Prove that. I mean, yes, that sounds great.
So, I mean, we could just chop up your recommendation for new drivers, and I think we've got to get you in the repetition. You have to find that zone again of being on track. You need to get the focus, the clarity, the motivation to start doing your 1 hour a day improvement on yourself. Like you got to find that again, because you're not sitting here having this conversation is a little helpful, but not as helpful as all the things you have been doing and to do.
That's the seat time, Bill.
All I know is Vicky's down to her nose now, so all we see is her nose up, and it just keeps getting lower and lower. No, moving the screen.
She adjusted the screen.
She didn't adjust the body.
What's that other thing?
The screen moved. The body did not move. She is fully
It was a
horizontal
very
now.
early morning to get the dog to the surgery. It was very early.
Audra, see what I got to put up with. Didn't you have one of these podcasts? Did you have to deal with this? Anyway.
Audra, tell him.
Yeah, I
Seat
gave
time.
everybody alcohol.
Yeah.
Seat time, right?
Seat time.
Seat
Seat
time.
time, seat time, seat time.
Oh, you know what else I want to do, which may scratch my itch? I want to do a bunch of autocrosses, because that could do the itch. I mean, it'll be
I'm with Jeremy on
a
this.
short itch, but it'll be an itch. It'll be like a one scratch.
I mean, it'll be fun for the whole, 8-hour day that you're there, that minute and a half that you're actually driving.
Oh,
it will
that's
be
a big
fun.
event.
It's 8 minutes. Hello.
8 minutes.
1 minute per hour.
Yep. All the jokes.
The
that come
model
with
of
life.
efficiency.
Camaraderie. You get all the people.
Well, there better be for that amount of time you have to stand around.
Anybody who wants to hear my jokes, turn into our OnlyFans channel. I have lots of jokes about the 8 minutes. But anyway,
No, listen, I'm with you. Let's go, Audra. You take us to an autocross. Let's go.
Yeah.
Why
Let's
don't we
go.
do it? Why don't we do the cross de auto? We'll do it the French way.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll bring my
waste a
Miata.
Saturday
Drive
for
a
8 minutes of
BMW, though.
driving.
What,
I-
Jeremy?
I said I'll waste a Saturday for 8 minutes of driving.
Well, there you go. I think we've wasted Saturdays for much less than that.
We have.
I'll
they're
bring the
brutal. They are
refreshments.
brutal.
We'll have quite the refreshment table set up.
It's baseball season.
Love
Jeremy
intense.
can't waste a Saturday.
No, my Saturdays are they're all done.
You know what we
And-
need to do? I've upgraded this. You know what we're going to do now? We're going to have more than 8 minutes of action. We're going to go to an autocross with Audra. And after the autocross, we're going to go somewhere and we're going to have a flashback Audra podcast about autocrossing. It'll be just like Shifting Point.
Yeah.
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 Well, you'll only spend $50, so we'll have plenty of money for a good dinner,
Oh,
We're
you're
talking.
right.
right?
See,
Or
now we're
maybe
talking.
maybe a 30-minute mini karting enduro.
Yeah. We could do one.
Oh, I'm down for that.
No,
See,
I think Vicky's just plain
This-
down right now.
$50 goes a lot longer when you change your venue.
Yes, it does.
Once again, tune into the Garage Heroes OnlyFans sounds for Bill's jokes that are going through his mind.
Yep. So I think we've kind of concluded all things Bill. I like it. It was good. We're gonna come back around to this at the end of the year. I would like to come back around to this,
Yep.
especially for you. Let's do a follow-up on
What?
this episode to see
Yeah.
where you are at the end of the year after you've done some seat time driving this year.
But button seat.
People don't
Also-
want to hear.
Garage Heroes in Training at gmail.com. Send Bill words of encouragement.
Oh, geez.
Yes, please send them all.
Or
You could even send them to Kaan as well. He'll make sure Bill gets them.
or if you
Oh,
really,
Bill gets them from the Gmail account.
and don't forget, if you have other comments, you can always write into benthehobbitdawson at gmail.com, which is actually real.
Or the Blind Apex.
Or the Blind Apex.
Right into
podcast.
them.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
at gmail.com.
That's right. Exactly. We got lots of Gmail.
I can press the forward button. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Well, Kaan, thank you for keeping me semi out of the tub. I don't know if Vicky's got enough energy to throw me in the tub, so I may be safe tonight.
Yeah,
You never
she's
Oh.
half asleep. You're good till tomorrow.
know. All right,
Yeah.
excellent. Well done.
Rough.
And thanks
Rough
everybody else.
guys.
I apologize to the listeners for talking about myself. A waste of all the tape that's in this machine.
Oh, cut it out.
I'm doing my best, Jeremy. Oh, I'm not really good at this. Oh.
He swapped out the reel to reel. He's good. We're good to go.
That's right. You know why Jeremy swapped out the reel to reel? Because his beard got caught in it. Anyway, three of you I will be seeing in a race in less than 2 weeks. Looking forward to it. Kaan, I'll be seeing you in a race in about 2 months.
Hopefully.
And JMP, well, we'll have the car for you. It'll be fine. You just come on down.
Yeah.
It'd be
We
nice
got
to
a
meet you
rear-wheel,
in person.
rear-wheel drive S10. We got a rear-wheel drive BMW.
Got a front wheel drive Civic, maybe.
Hey, it's June. It's hot. The BMW's got AC
It does.
and a radio. And
Can I just bring my own cool suit?
Absolutely.
You can.
Alright.
And
We got
can.
the
You can
we
even
got the
put cruise
plugs.
control on. The
That's right.
BMW's got cruise control. Just slap on cruise control. You're good to go.
Bring your favorite CD. It's got the CD player.
Yes, it does.
It's a hardcore race car, you know? Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
thank you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Can't stand talking to myself. Anyway, bye. Thank you,
You did
Kaan.
so well, though.
All right.
You're welcome.
Terrible. So, Bill, when you're done, can you send some pictures of you to me so I can put them out with the podcast? Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Where would you like them sent? Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like them sent to Garage Heroes and Training at OnlyFans.com. But that's a different picture. Send it to Garage Heroes and Training at gmail.com.
The blind apex at gmail.com.
The Blind Apex at gmail.com.
Podcast.
Blind Apex
Oh.
Podcast at gmail.com.
You probably sent the wrong stuff to somebody.
Did.
Yeah, I hope they don't ever open it or ever realize where it came from.
That's all right. Ben the Hobbitfoot Dawson at gmail.com. All right. Very well. Job well done. Appreciate.
Yay.
Yay. Audrey, are you going to do one of these or is Kaan off the hook now? You're the last one.
He's off the hook.
All right. Very well. Kaan.
She doesn't want to get browbeat by a
I know.
stranger.
I know.
No, you're doing one, Audra.
It's up to
You know, I feel
Jeremy's
like
going to host that one.
If I have
shit.
to host it, you're doing it.
Believe me,
Oh,
we've got time. If Jeremy has to start his computer, we've got like a couple of weeks before it'll turn on again. So
It's worse if I leave it on.
is it
Oh yeah, it takes like 30 minutes.
to wake up from snooze?
I don't know what it's got going on. It's got something going on with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to bring it to the racetrack, I can see if I can work on it for you.
Okay.
All right. Very well.
Deal.
Good night, Miss Vicki.
Kaan, as always,
Good night.
pleasure.
Oh,
Thank you.
another
See
notch
you
down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is
Vicki,
that
when you're away
post-adjustment she slid down
That's
already?
Good night,
post
Vicki.
adjustment.
And she's gone.
And number 23, the Nemo car is taking over. Good night, Nemo car.